Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into something pretty significant for skilled professionals down in Florida, getting through that contractor licensing exam.
Yeah, it's a big one. A necessary step if you want to grow your business, take on bigger projects.
Definitely. But let's be honest, it feels like a mountain to climb sometimes. You hear about all the rules, the massive stack of reference books.
And people having to take it more than once. It's definitely got a reputation for being tough.
Absolutely. So the big question is, how do you actually prepare effectively? How do you tackle this without getting totally overwhelmed?
Well, that's where having a really solid game plan comes in. It's not just about knowing your trade inside out.
Right, and that's why we wanted to look into this today, especially with a new resource, Lead Licensing Academy, or LLA, launching specifically for Florida. Their whole focus is guiding contractors like you through this maze.
Exactly. LLA gets that passing isn't just about practical skills, it's about understanding the whole system.
Okay, so let's break that down. What does that system involve? We're talking regulations, right?
Yeah, you've got the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, the DBPR, and the Construction Industry Licensing Board, CILB. They're the ones setting the rules.
And they have different types of licenses.
That's right. Two main types. Certified, which lets you work anywhere in Florida.
The statewide one?
Yep.
You're
And
right.
registered, which limits you to specific cities or counties. Usually, if you want that wider reach, you're aiming for certified, and that means passing the state exam.
Gotcha. So what are these exams actually testing? It's more than just, say, knowing how to frame a wall or wire a circuit.
Oh, much more. For almost all certified licenses, there's a big business and finance exam. Super critical.
What did that cover? Like accounting stuff?
That plus financial management, how to run the business operations, insurance, lien laws. Florida lien law is huge, and taxes too. It's comprehensive.
Wow. Okay. And I heard for some licenses, there's even more.
Yes, especially for what they call Division 1, that's your general building and residential contractors. They also have a contract administration exam.
So legal requirements, bids, handling disputes.
Exactly. And a project management exam. That one looks at planning, scheduling jobs, managing resources, safety, big focus on OSHA, and building codes.
And then on top of all that, there's the actual trade knowledge part specific to your field.
Correct. Whether you're a plumber, electrician, HVAC tech, whatever your specialty is, you've got that specific trade exam too.
Okay. And how are these tests given? Is it all on computer?
Mostly. They use Pearson VUE for computer-based testing, CBT. The one exception currently is plumbing trade knowledge. That's still paper and pencil.
Interesting detail. But here's the kicker I keep hearing about. They're all open book, right?
They are. And honestly, that's probably the biggest tripwire for people.
How so? Sounds like it should make it easier.
You'd think. But the exams are timed. Really strictly timed. Having the books is one thing, but being able to find the exact piece of information you need fast, under pressure, that's the skill.
So it's a time trap. You can waste precious minutes just flipping pages.
Precisely. You can't just browse. You need a system. This is where LLA comes in. Like with their Sure tabs, they guide you on exactly where to place tabs in your reference books for quick finding.
Okay, that makes sense. Organizing the chaos beforehand. What about practicing that lookup skill?
Yeah, LLA has something called the Sure Start Practice Pad. It's untimed practice, specifically designed to help you build that muscle memory for finding info in the books.
So you get comfortable before the clock starts ticking.
Right. And then, when you're ready, they have the SurePass exam simulator. That is timed, giving you that realistic exam pressure. It's part of their main course access package.
Got it. So SureTabs for organization, SureStart for untimed lookup practice, SurePass for time simulation. What's another common pitfall people run into?
Over-relying on field experience. You know, guys who've been doing great work for 10, 20 years think, I know this stuff.
But the exam tests things beyond the job site tasks.
Absolutely. Your day-to-day work might not involve deep dives into, say, financial statement analysis or the nuances of Florida Statute 713, the lien law. Practical skill is essential, but it doesn't cover the business and legal knowledge the exam demands.
And that's where structured study content, like what LLA provides in their course access, fills the gap, covering those business, finance, legal topics.
Exactly, because those are consistently the areas where people struggle most. business, finance, and legal. Even really experienced contractors can get tripped up there.
Why are those areas so tough, do you think?
Well, it's often just different from the hands-on problem solving they do every day. It requires memorizing rules, understanding specific legal definitions, knowing accounting principles.
So specialized support for those areas is key.
Definitely. LLA actually has things called lesson power-ups. They're like focused mini courses on specific difficult topics, like a deep dive just on lien law or understanding financial ratios. Extra help where you need it most.
Okay, so targeted help on the tough stuff. That sounds valuable. And I assume things like math are important too.
Oh, for sure. Especially in business and finance. LLA includes an LLA math bundle and relevant course packages to make sure you've got those calculations down.
And just generally, people need a plan, right? Not just studying randomly.
Absolutely. Haphazard studying just doesn't cut it for an exam this comprehensive. You need structure. LLA offers different study plan frameworks like a fast-track 6-week blitz or a more paced 6-month working pro plan, depending on your situation.
So it's about having a roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Summarizing the strategies LLE uses. Formal prep resources, like their course access.
Right, which includes the practice tools like SureStart and SurePass.
Mastering the reference books using things like SureTabs.
Crucial. And practicing consistently.
Developing time management via this simulator.
Yes, and understanding the math with the math bundle.
And really knowing those legal and regulatory details, maybe using those lesson power-ups for extra focus.
You got it. Things like licensing rules, financial responsibility, insurance, labor laws, contracts, and especially that Florida lien law, LLA covers these thoroughly.
So the key areas LLA really helps you focus on would be those business and finance fundamentals, accounting, statements, cash flow.
Yep. And tax stuff, employment regulations, knowing your insurance and bonding requirements.
Lien law, contracts, and OSHA safety. It sounds like they cover all the bases people typically struggle with.
That's the goal. To provide a comprehensive, structured path that addresses the known challenges head-on.
It really seems like passing this Florida exam is very achievable, but you can't just wing it. You need that focused preparation.
Precisely. And having a partner like LLA, especially now that they're launching specifically in Florida, gives you the tools, the practice simulators, the study plans, the targeted help with things like the lesson power-ups.
It sounds like those power-ups and the specific tools like SureTabs are part of what makes their approach different, offering that extra layer of support.
Yeah, it's about providing value beyond just the core content, focusing on how to learn and succeed on this specific exam.
Definitely encouraging for anyone looking at taking that step. So we recommend exploring LLA's Florida course access options if you're serious about getting licensed.
It's worth investigating to find the right fit for your preparation.
All right, let's wrap up this part of our deep dive. The main takeaway seems clear. The Florida contractor exam is a hurdle, yes, but totally manageable with the right strategy and resources.
And LLA is entering the Florida market specifically to provide that structure and support.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. What could earning that Florida contractor license truly mean for your career, for your business? Think about those doors it could open.
And consider how focused preparation using the right tools and guidance is really the key to unlocking that future.